my page here, and this video I'll be reviewing set number 76012, and this set is called Lego Batman The Riddler Chase, and it cost £34. Here's the first minifigure of the set, and the first minifigure of the set is the Flash. Now this minifigure is really nice, yet really basic. I mean, he's got plain red legs, plain red arms, and the only things that are unique about him is his printed torso, which is printed really well and is really accurate to the comic book character. Not the TV show version, but the comic book version. And his helmet is red and has yellow lightning bolts on the side. I'd say that looks really cool. It's really accurate to the comic book version of the Flash. On the back, he has a little bit of printing, continuing the torso around. So yeah, overall this minifigure is basic, comic accurate, yet cool. Here's the second minifigure of the set, and the second minifigure of the set is Batman. And this is a pretty basic rendition of Batman, although it's quite a cool one, and it is exclusive to this set, apart from the LEGO Dimensions pack with Batman, which is the starter set. But yeah, this is the cheapest way to get this particular version of Batman. And this version of Batman is in an entirely grey suit, apart from his belt, which is black, his utility belt, which is printed on, which is gold, and his black cowl and cape. And this version's pretty basic. I mean, it's pretty much like the standard version of Batman, only in grey, and he has lots of muscle printing, and he has printing for the bat symbol. And this version sort of looks like the Dark Knight version, which is pretty cool, because I really like that trilogy, and it's one of my favourite superhero trilogies of all time. But yeah, it's not that version, but it does look like that version, which is pretty cool. And on the back, he does have the printing continuing around. I have to say, the printing for the belt is pretty cool. I mean, it sort of shows all sorts of things, and the fact that it's metallic is pretty cool. And overall, this Batman minifig is very basic, yet very cool. Here's the third minifigure of this set, and the third minifigure of this set is the Riddler. And this is an exclusive version of the Riddler, and it's quite cool to have an exclusive minifig in such a cheap set. I mean, this set is only £34, and yet there's an exclusive version of the Riddler in it. I mean, the character of the Riddler isn't exclusive to the set, but this variant is. I have to say, it's quite a nice variant of the Riddler. I mean, first of all, there's quite a cool design where one leg and one arm are dark green, and one arm and one leg are light green. And that looks quite cool, and it sort of makes him look a bit like Two-Face crossed with the Riddler, and that's quite a cool design. And that even continues onto the torso, and the torso print is very nice. I mean, it shows a green jacket with a zip going down the middle, a zip with a pocket on one side here, and there's the green bit printed on there, and there's lots of question marks printed on there, and he also has his insignia, which is a question mark in a circle, right sort of there, and he also has a bit where the zip is open, it's showing a scarf, and he has purple gloves, and he has a green leg and a dark green leg, dark green hips, and he also has dark green arm, a light green arm, and the printing continues around to the back, showing a bit more of the scarf, a few more question marks, and that same dual moulded design with dark green and light green. And the coolest part of him is his face print, and his face print sort of shows a purple mask with white eyes, which is accurate to the comic book version of the Riddler. And also, another cool factor of him is his hat, which is done in a light green, and it has a purple question mark on it. And that looks really cool, and really finishes off this minifig well. And also, he has accessories of a gold crowbar, which is exclusive to him, and he also has a banana, so he can sort of make the Flash slip up. And that's very funny. And overall, this minifig is very fun and bright and vibrant. And really cool. Here's the first build of the set, and the first build of the set is the Riddler's Dragster. I'd say this car overall looks pretty cool, but there's one feature that I really don't like. It's the fact that there's no windscreen or roof. I'd say the car really does look really incomplete without those features. I mean, it really looks very barren and bare without those. Although the rest of the design does look pretty cool. And if you ignore perhaps up to here, it does look really cool. I mean, I'm not going to ignore that part because it's there, but still. Talking about this part, there's a really cool Riddler insignia, and there's two wheels at the front, and this part looks really sleek and really nice and really well designed. I mean, there's this red thing here, which I'm not sure why that's there. I sort of wish it wasn't, but since it's Lego, you can just sort of take it off. And it all breaks. Okay, I know why that's there now, but it still doesn't really look that good. And I sort of wish they'd used a green one instead of a red one, But you know, as I said, you can take it off and replace it with a green one, or just leave it off completely, and then it looks a whole lot sleeker and a whole lot better. But yeah, also there's this curved shape going up here, which looks quite cool, and the coolest feature of this is this big, massive engine. And that looks really cool, and definitely shows how powerful it is, and how fast it's going to be going, and how hard it will be for Batman to catch the Riddler with all his stolen money. And that sort of is really cool, and it definitely shows off the Riddler's personality, and the fact that he really likes really fast and powerful things, and in general his personality is sort of fast and sort of really quick, so, you know, that sort of matches that, and yeah, that's sort of really cool. I have to say, this car overall definitely matches the Riddler's personality very well. And also on the sides there are some flames coming out. At the back there's these big massive oversized tyres, and that looks really cool. And overall this vehicle is really fun, although I sort of wish it did have a roof and perhaps a windscreen. Although that's not too big of a deal, I guess, since it is a sort of a side build. But you know, I sort of wish it did still have a roof and a windscreen, which most cars would have. But you know, at the back it does have a fin, and also there's 2 bags of stolen money. And it's quite a cool play feature, where basically if you roll this around and you roll it fast enough, then a bomb will come off. I mean, it doesn't work that well, but you know, if you can get it just right, then it can sort of work and explode off. And that's quite a cool feature with an exploding bomb. And overall, this car is really fun and matches the Riddler's personality perfectly. I just really wish it had a roof and a windscreen. Right, so here's the main build of the set, and the main build of the set is the Batmobile. I have to say, this is a pretty standard rendition of Batmobile. I mean, it looks cool, but it is very stereotypical Batmobile. But yeah, at the front, there are these lights, and that looks pretty cool. It sort of makes it look a bit angry, like it's annoyed at you, and that's quite a cool sort of design there. And at the front, there's sort of a battering ram, and you can sort of get the Riddler's car and just smash into it. I'm not sure if that was intended, although it may have been. Although I think it was just so that it looks like a bat, but you can do that with it, so that's quite cool that it can just crash through various things. In fact, I'm going to try it out with the Big Ben set as well. Well, it pushed it, but it didn't break it. And now with this. Yep, it knocked that Iron Man Funko Pop quite far. So yeah, you can see it can push through pretty much anything and knock it all over. So that's pretty cool, and definitely quite a fun feature, just rolling it and ramming it into things. And it sort of reminds me of the tumbler of the Dark Knight. I mean, it doesn't look like the tumbler, but it definitely sort of acts like the tumbler when you're moving it around and sort of smashing it into things. So it's definitely quite cool how sort of bulky and powerful it is. And also, one other feature is that you can lift up this, and unfortunately there's red, and I will quote Batman from the Lego movie, "I only work in black and very, very dark grey." Well, this isn't either of those colours. This is red, and quite clearly red. But I'll accept that because the play feature that goes with it is fine, and works pretty well. I mean, it's sort of hard to activate, but you basically just push on this, and it launches off some flick-fire missiles. And if you angle it right, then you can hit what you're trying to target. And sometimes that happens. So, yeah. I'll just quickly reattach that and try to show the play feature off properly, without actually breaking it. Okay. So, you lift this up, and then you push on that. Now, it's sort of, as you saw there, a bit flimsy, so you might want to not push so hard, as I did there. And I sort of wish this was black or dark grey instead of just being red. Although I sort of think Lego put that in there so smaller kids and younger kids could sort of notice the difference between the parts. Even though I'm sure most people would be able to. That's something they just do so that it's easier to find the parts you're looking for in mostly one-colour builds. Now, I sort of wish they'd done that in perhaps even dark blue would have worked. But no, they did it in a really bright red. But enough about that. On to the next feature, which is the fact that the cockpit can't really open properly. I mean, you can just take it off, but within a sort of in-universe thing, that just looks like a big giant just tearing off the windscreen. So I sort of wish that would come off a bit better. I mean, it comes off nice and sleekly, but, you know, it's not like it hinges up or anything. You just tear it off, and that doesn't look very good. And when it's not on there, it sort of looks being complete, like the Riddler car. But inside the cockpit, it's very sort of basic. I mean, there's just this bit, a bit of yellow, and a steering wheel which flips up. And that's basically it. And there's not much room for anything else, so yeah, not a very good interior, but the exterior looks fine, as long as you don't turn this up, and when you do, you see a lot of red. But yeah, so overall, this Batmobile is very fun to wheel around. The one play feature doesn't work very well, but overall it's a pretty decent Batmobile, not the best, not the worst. So overall I'd say this is a pretty great set. I mean, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, the builds are okay, the minifigs are great, and that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you later, alligator.